Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me on Biz Dev Live with Cameron Toth. So excited to bring you Brenda Huerta today. We talk about business development every day, and her role is actually as a business developer for Mayan Technologies. Excited to get into it. We're going to jump into our theme song, and we'll be right back with you.
Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. This is business development, not even selling it. This is intelligent. If you watch it, I promise you benefit. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T.
Thank you for joining me. I have Brenda Huerta today with me with Mayan Technologies. She's business development specialist with Mayan Technologies. They do a bunch of different things in terms of e-commerce and really helping businesses come up to speed for now. She comes from doing insurance in California, moved to Texas recently. We're going to get into all of that. Brenda, thanks for being here with me.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Cameron.
My pleasure. So I want to get right into it. So talk to me about what you're doing right now with Mayan Technologies, and then we'll talk a little bit about your background, and we'll come back around to the business development aspects of what you're doing.
Yeah, so with Mayan Technologies, we are a 100% technology company. We are, we've always done software customization and custom software development. Right now, obviously, it's no secret the way the pandemic has changed the way we work nowadays, the way we do business, the way we do everything. So right now, our main focus is really helping out businesses, embrace technology and thrive. In this time, if you don't embrace technology and you don't get with the times, either you're out of the game or you get into technology, which is the game now.
So tell us a little bit about your business background. I know you were born, right? And family is from Monterrey, Mexico, which is always a cool thing because it's one of the parts of Mexico known for business almost more than anything else, which is a really interesting thing. And I think the closest I've really been is a stopover in an airport, but I'm excited to visit Monterrey. But come from the background, you end up in California, and you've recently been in sales doing insurance. So talk to us a little bit about your business and educational background and what you're passionate about.
Yeah, so, we grew up, my whole family grew up in Monterrey, Mexico. That's actually where, my brother-in-law, he's actually one of the founders of Mayan Technologies. Him and my sister both been in technology for years, and that's where they started working. But yeah, so I grew up there. After high school, I moved to California to be, close with my family that had moved a couple of years prior. And then there, I was introduced to insurance. And, I had one of those, life-changing moments where I quit my job and I decided that I wanted to work for myself and do my own thing and go and sell insurance. So that was about 6-7 years ago. And I was grateful that actually worked out fantastic. I really did really good in the insurance industry. I started my own, I had my own office out there. I started, being in insurance and it was insurance for businesses, for employees. So I was going out to meet with business owners and help them out, offer a great package of benefits for their employees. So,
I know you were doing really good in sales out there. You were actually encouraged to help with training with other staff, right? So what were some of your tips or tricks in terms of or advice that you would give somebody that's trying, that's in that insurance sales space? What are some of the things that you did to really be successful there?
Well, don't give up. When you start in the insurance industry or anything that is, you're an independent contractor, the first few years, it's going to be a huge struggle. You're going to be broke, you're going to be struggling, but you just got to basically get up in the morning and go and knock on some doors, pick up the phone and make as many calls as you can. And when you are really struggling and you're really broke, just keep going. Because eventually the pendulum is going to swing the other way and things are going to start happening. I mean, I think in any business. So, yeah, I mean,
it's so funny. You talk to so many people, and I think that fundamental basic message of like put in the work. If there's a call to make it. And so many stories. It's interesting. I listen to a lot of business folks, everyone from Tony Robbins, part of Master Networks. We have Chaz Wilson, and so many of the stories of folks that have been able to create tremendous change in people's lives. They're talking about getting down to that last like $20 in their pocket, but keeping it going and pushing forward, and really finding that incredible change or incredible success after incredible desperation. And I think it's always interesting.
I think, when you are in the lowest part of your life and you're like, okay, if I cannot make one sale right now, I'm not going to pay rent. So it's like, you like, okay, that one more door.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think it's something that if you're not struggling, it's like, you have to understand that you need to remain hungry in order to make change or make things happen in your business. Because I think, and I'm a victim of it too. I've had Total Event Staffing going for the last 9 years, and because you get to a certain point and you're comfortable, and there's a bit of money coming in, so you're not struggling. The pushing forward to get the next service, the next add-on, the next big thing becomes kind of hard to do because you're not in that state of like, oh my goodness, I have to make this happen. And that's usually when the really positive things happen, when you got to make it happen.
Yeah, and definitely, because like you said, I actually did have my own, I had my office. I used to hire and train new agents to get into the business. And one thing that, when I started this, I completely cut ties with my any other source of income and decided to invest myself 100% in this. So it was like either it works or it works. And I had other agents come in, and they, people always had like a safety net. And I'm like, as long as you have that safety net, you are never gonna like really push yourself, because you know that you always have something to fall back on. And I feel like, if you really want to do something, you just got to go for it 110%. And, at that point, either you make it work or you make it work. There is no other way. And you're going to make it work because that's it.
Yeah. And it's hard to explain to somebody that's never been there, but it's, being on the trapeze without a safety net, you got to catch it, you do it, and you make it happen. It's one of those things. You don't want to be in that position, but when you're there, you understand the necessity to succeed, and you make success happen. And I love this because I love this book, You Need a Budget. And it talks about, saving money, which is such a critical thing in terms of business, personal finances, but really important around business finances for a company to grow. And, the pay yourself first philosophy, and the idea of, if you want to take your money, put it in savings, you don't want to touch it. And basically it's like it doesn't exist, because if you didn't have the savings there, you would make it work, right? The money would come from somewhere, you would make it happen. So forget that money is there, so that you can actually build on your savings. So that's a great way of, maybe you have the money in the bank, but it's just like getting in that mindset of necessity. I have to make this work without that safety net there. And that's the way you can actually grow your savings and grow your business acumen, and, push forward, even if you're not in that zone of like your last $20 sleeping in your car, that kind of thing, so that you can actually make real progress to get towards your goals. I love that. Talk to us about the transition from California to Texas, going from, insurance being the main business to working with Mayan Technologies.
Yeah. So because it's completely different, insurance, technology, two different monsters here. But yeah, so I was in California, And then my sister, she was, she got married, and then they were living in San Diego, and and then they moved to Texas. So then, they had a baby, and it's my godson. I love him, and he's the best ever. And so I started coming out here to, be with them and be with my godson, and just help them out. The first year can be hard.
Yeah.
So I started coming out a lot. I started, doing a lot of back and forth between California and Texas. And the good thing about my business is that since I can work with anybody in any state. I started, I'm like, okay, well, I can go to Texas and be there for like a month or two, and then I would go back to California another month or two, take care of my clients. I was doing that for about a year, and it gets pretty tiring at some point, like the back and forth, the planes. That I have a dog, I would take him with me back and forth. It got tired. So yeah, eventually I was like, you know what? I'm staying in Texas. I'm getting my own place, and that's what we're doing. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's all to be next to family, I thought, because, back in Mexico, when we all kind of dispersed, it was, my parents went to California, and then my two brothers went to California. Me and my sister stayed in Mexico. And I think at that point, like at some point, we always wanted to be together, all together again. So in California, we were in LA area, and then my sister was in San Diego, so it's still a little bit of a drive. But coming to Texas, our whole family idea is to be all together. So the plan was everybody was going to move to Texas eventually. And me, in the position that I was with my business, I was like, well, I'm just going to do it now because I feel like Texas has a huge, economic growth going on right now. So many new businesses are coming up or moving to Texas. The economy out here is growing, like crazy. So I was like, it's just a great opportunity for me to do the move right now. And then hopefully the rest of the family will come eventually, which they are right now. I have now my brother's moving out next week, and him and his family, and then my parents are moving out, about next month. So that's the plan. I mean, it's just a plan to be with, your family. And I think after like 15 years, we're finally going to be all together again in like the same state, city.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife is Mexican, so I know a little bit about the country separation. And then my sisters and my sister and my brothers are all over the place. So that wish of wanting to have everybody together. My sister's actually in San Antonio, Texas, with her 4 kids, and then my 2 brothers are in San Diego, and my mother's in Vancouver, Washington. So they're all spread out. But my wife is one of 10 children, and we have 5, including her, of the siblings here in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and then 5 of her siblings are in Puebla, Mexico.
Oh yeah, you got them all.
I understand that desire of wishing to be together. So it's awesome that you're making that happen.
It's finally happening. Yeah. So, and then my transition from insurance to technology was, first, I've been meeting with business owners for like I said, like the last 6-7 years. I've been handling business owners, seeing what challenges they are facing, see how I can be a solution for them. So, I had already that experience of going out there and, meeting with business owners and just the business challenges. So then, talking to my brother-in-law that, like I said, he's one of the founders of Mayan Technologies. We were just talking about what kind of sales strategies they were doing or anything like that. And they didn't really have a sales team. So I was like, okay, well then, they wanted me to kind of get that started. So yeah,
this is always an interesting thing, especially for entrepreneurs, always having the conversation about, when you're hiring and what do you do for sales. So I know you were doing sales on the insurance side. They saw that success, and now, they're bringing you into the family business here. What was the initial conversation that you were having to make it comfortable for you to kind of move into that role?
Well, I never really wanted to leave, and I haven't left insurance. I still have my clients. I still do insurance on the side, because I work hard to grow that business. that now it's as long as I take care of it, you take care of your clients, they'll take care of you. So that's basically what I do with insurance. But yeah, the initial conversation, I started as 1099, like, okay, I'll work with Mayan Technologies and start to get to know the business, because I'm probably the only one in the whole company that is not a programmer and not an engineer.
Right.
But I'm like, I'll start learning, and let's see how it goes. I think we were both in that same boat, like, let's see how it goes. And I was like, I'll start doing it a little bit and here and there, and I'll, start learning from you basically, and see how it works. And it was interesting because I started, my insurance business was my main business, and Mayan Technologies was kind of like a side thing for me. Right. And then eventually, after the first year or so, now Mayan Technologies is my full-time, commitment. It kind of switched, and I don't know where it happened, but I started, the way I am, like with insurance, I was like, I gotta keep going even if nothing is happening. I gotta keep going even if nothing is happening. So with technology, with Mayan, I started working with them, and nothing was happening because technology deals can take a little bit to process. But I'm the kind of person that once I started, like, I want to get it done, so I just kept going, and I'm like, I'm going to keep going because I know something's going to happen, and something's going to happen, and it's going to start happening until eventually it does, so eventually I started just investing a lot more time in Mayan Technologies. And I mean, and it's really interesting. I actually enjoy it so much, just seeing actually how the amazing things that you can do with technology. Like when I talk to someone and with a business owner, and they have, they are excited because they have all these ideas that they want to do, I want my business to be able to do this and that, and I want to do this, and I want a mobile app that does this, and I want a web app, and I want my employees. And it's like, yep, we can do it. Okay, we can make it happen. And I mean, I think it's pretty fun, it's pretty amazing that, like, some people have stuff in their head and we can actually make it happen with technology.
So talk to us about some of the solutions here. I got the website up. It talks about enterprise solutions, custom solutions, B&I and reporting solutions, e-commerce solutions, turnkey services, professional services, consumer to consumer recruitment.
Yeah, so we basically have three services right here. So basically, for example, the C2, I'm gonna start with the bottom ones, the corp to corp recruitment. So what we do is we actually, like I said, we are a 100% technology company. We have about 15 to 20 people on our team that are, highly skilled developers. And so we actually do some staffing. We provide corp to corp resources. So if anybody, we partner with software companies, we partner with any other, with companies that, and staffing agencies. And when a company needs a few developers, like, if there's they could be a bank that wants to create a mobile app and they need, 5 developers. We can provide 5 developers.
That's awesome.
So we can provide the developers, we can provide the resources that they need. And I always say, the great thing about working with Mayan Technologies is that rather than going to a staffing agency where you might not really know who you request the requirements that you need, they go and find someone and send them to you. Well, you never know who you're getting at that point, but we don't outsource any of our work. We actually provide resources from our own team. So I think that lets us keep a really high level of accountability, because these are the people that we'll send to you to work with your team are actually full-time employed with Mayan Technologies, and they've been working with us either from the start or they work for Mayan Technologies. So we do corporate services for any business. The turnkey services, that's kind of like the other side of the coin. We partner also with other companies, software companies, or any company that uses some kind of software, and they want, that turnkey service. They will, instead of them managing the project, they'll send us the project, and we'll take care of it from A to Z, and we will basically deliver a completed project for them. So that's the
Can you give me an example of a project that you've done that's along those lines?
on the turnkey services.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, right now we're working with, their cybersecurity company. And for example, first they wanted this perfect example. First, they actually just wanted us to give them a few different developers so they can manage the project and they can work in there basically as an extension of their team. Like they're part of their team.
Right.
But then, however, now, I know they're getting really, really busy right now. So instead of, and I was talking to the guy and he's like, you know what, I'm actually, once, they're going through some stuff right now, but like, they're like, I'm going to get really, really busy that I don't have time to manage all these projects. So how about, I'm going to give you what I need and you do it.
That's great.
Just deliver a product.
And one of those things is, we're talking about a Master Networks this week, this networking group that we're both part of, time blocking and talking about things that you can get off your plate. And sometimes, you find a confident vendor that, really knows their stuff, and to be able to hand things off and get, a project off your plate, it's just worth it to have somebody else take on that challenge and really get it off your plate, especially when that partner becomes an extension of your team. It's an amazing thing to have. Talk to us about the professional services.
The professional services. So we actually also we are a consulting firm. So as a professional service, we do meet with business owners, and when they're in the initial stages, or if they have any questions about, there's so much technology out there and so many different softwares that people can use. We actually do sit down with business owners and kind of see what their business, what industry they're in, what their business goals are, what are their expectations and business needs. And we can make a few suggestions of what different softwares are available, and we will go ahead, and then after they make a decision, we can help them implement it and, do any integrations, any customization, so it actually fits their business needs. But yeah, as a professional service, we do offer, our services so they can, again, we will be an extension of their business and help them make
awesome. I know one of the things that we were talking about, so many businesses needing an e-commerce function. I know for Toth Event Staffing, we sort of slept on having things to be able to purchase on our website for so long, taking advantage of customers that we had in our database that we were serving on the services side, but we weren't, bringing them back to our website and saying, hey, we can offer you this, we can offer you that, to take advantage of those clients. Talk to us about some of the e-commerce solutions that you're offering your clients.
Yeah, I think that, e-commerce has been one of the most popular things right now because, once this pandemic hit, and like I always say, this pandemic has changed the way we work and do business probably forever. And, unfortunately, a lot of retail stores, a lot of restaurants, a lot of places had to close their doors at some point, when this whole thing started and they had us on lockdown. So at that point, either you sell online or you don't sell. So I think a lot of businesses were expecting this to kind of, maybe it's going to blow over in a couple of weeks. However, it's been a few months now and we're still in situation. So I feel like that's why I was saying, like, you got to embrace technology at this point because, and even after the world opens up, we've been spoiled now that you can go and you can buy something out of a store, you can go buy a refrigerator, you park outside, you let them know that you're there and they bring the refrigerator out to you, they put it in your car and you're good to go, with all so e-commerce right now is huge. If your customers do not have the ability to buy online, to, place orders online, to pay online, I think you are really leaving a lot of money on the table.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting thing, and people that, it's interesting. I'm listening to this Audible book right now. I had Veronica Corinne on. I can't even remember now if it was earlier this week or last week, but I think the days just fly by. But she wrote this book called Stories of Our Elders, and I'm listening to it right now. And she's talking about, I don't know what years this was in, but probably like 50s, 60s, I would imagine. But people phoning up the local commercial appliances company or store, and she was, or the story is about somebody ordering a microwave, and so they're saying, hey, is this model? And the guy on the other end of the phone is, hey, do you want this one or that one? This one has the defrost feature, this one doesn't. She's like, how much is that? She writes out the check, and they deliver it to her house in 2 hours. So, I think it's interesting that, we tend to think a lot of things are revolutionary. You got, Amazon drone delivery on things, and it's just improvement of services. It's just a new take on an old theme. It's convenience is what we pay for. And that idea that, if you have a customer that's in your market, that's on your website, that's you got somebody that's foot trafficking their way by you one way or another. They found you on Google, they found your website because of something else. If you're not taking advantage of that and getting the most revenue that you can out of that, it's a loss. So understanding, like, if you're not doing e-commerce and you don't have things to sell on your website, whether you're an entrepreneur, big business, or somewhere in between, it is a loss of revenue. You need to be taking advantage. Yeah.
One thing that we also do a lot, and I have two great stories because, booking systems online, the ability to make reservations online or book an appointment online is huge. For example, me, when I got to Texas, I was looking for a dentist, and, we're part of the local chamber here, the Allen Fairview Chamber. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to, might as well have somebody that is in the chamber. So I go and I look for a few dentists, then I see if they're, obviously in my network, and I check out their website. And the dentist I went with was the only one that had an online booking system. Why? Because people don't want to get on the phone anymore. As much as they love you they love you, and your customers love you, they still don't want to get on the phone. They want to be able to, everybody's so busy nowadays. They want to just be able to go online and make the appointment.
Right.
Call. So that's the reason I went to that with that dentist. And then the other one is my brother-in-law. He actually asked me one time for a plumber. And because, yes, I network a lot, so I most of the time have someone for you. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll send you a plumber. And I send him the information of the plumber. And like a few weeks go by, and I'm like, hey, did you call the plumber already? And he's like, no. And I'm like, why not? He's like, you know why? Because I need to call him. He's like, I want to, I'm busy all day. I sit down in the couch like at 10 o'clock at night. And that's when I that's when I'm like, okay, I got the plumber. Well, now they're closed, So the ability, and that's most people, most people are so busy during the day that at the end of the day, when they're relaxing on their couch in their bed, that's when, wheels start turning, and you're like, oh, I need to get, my family's coming over. I need to get the cleaning people to come in. I need to, get the plumber to come in. I need to get my hair done, So people want that convenience. And if you have a mobile app, or if you have just the ability to set appointments online, like I said, it's a huge difference, because I don't know how many dentists missed on my business because of that.
No, I think it's huge. And the idea, going back to that story I was telling earlier, it's not, it's just getting in tune with what people want these days, right? So instead of making the phone call and getting that quick delivery, it's, the text application, right? I text the business, they send me a link, I go to the website, I book the time, done. People want to text, and it's not young people. It's not 13 and 20-year-olds. I have 40 and 50-year-old clients. They're booking personal services like staff, and they want to text because, just like what you said, it's they've been on email all day. They've been on the computer all day. They're at home. The idea occurs to them. They want to book some staff for their personal event on the weekend. They don't want to go put on a suit and tie and get in front of the computer. They want to just stay where they are and pick up their cell phone and get it done. And you're either in a place where you can be accessible to that person or not. And I think that's hugely important. Big deal. Absolutely.
That's been definitely huge for us right now, more in these times, just setting up online stores. setting up, that way you can keep track of your inventory and you can sell online. Your clients can place orders online, can pay in advance. Right now, yesterday I was talking to this other person. And he's like, I don't understand. I want to pay online or something because I don't want. He was saying that he doesn't want to give his card to someone because, I don't know. I guess you don't know, and you don't know where the hands have been, and now with all the stuff going on. And they're like, even if they're wearing gloves,
the times have changed. There was a time when you didn't want to put your computer online anymore. Now it's like, I don't want to give it to a person because they may be writing it down and taking it home with them, versus I believe in the security of this robotic system. And it's just funny how trust changes. Yeah.
The information over the phone too. Like some people are very worried about that. Like, they don't want to give their information over the phone. So what's our only other alternative here? Pay online.
Meanwhile, entire databases are being downloaded by whatever it costs. It's sort of interesting what people trust in the moment and what they don't. But it's that kind of thing, and I think that's a great business development thing, because are you with the times? Are you in the moment? Are you doing what is the publicly accessible thing? It's the power of brand too. They talk about the fact that Lysol is such a trusted brand that a lot of businesses are going to now because Lysol, because of the power of the brand, is going to offer a Lysol clean kind of thing, so that if your business has the Lysol seal of approval,
Lysol sticker on their door, you're good. Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying, like, this is, and that's not going to change. Once the world opens up, we've been spoiled now that you can. I feel like even myself, I have Petco at less than a mile away, and I'll still buy the toys for my babies on Amazon. Why? Because I just rather get it, in one day delivery and get it at my door. I don't know.
I think that's huge, and I think there's services, like Facebook, where you can actually log into websites using the Facebook API, and those kind of things. Using the technology that makes it easier for people to log in, and it's easier, convenient. Somehow people trust it more. All those kind of things. I think it's wild in terms of the technology. Talk to us a little bit about like who the ideal client for you, and how you go through your sales process in terms of convincing, closing clients into your sales process.
Well, right now we actually still have like two different sides of the business. One, we do a lot of ERPs, customization and integrations and upgrades for businesses such as manufacturing companies, distribution and such. And, and the companies that use an ERP system, they all need a little bit of help. So we actually can.
So explain to me, because I don't even know. ERP, what is that?
Enterprise resource planning. Most companies, and that's, small businesses can probably get away with using QuickBooks, Excel spreadsheets to run their business. Once the business starts growing, now you have a warehouse with inventory in there. Now you have salespeople out there. Now you have even a small financing department, accounting department, or whatever. The business starts growing. You want to make sure that your business is running smoothly under one software, and that keeps track of everything. Because now how you can't keep track of everything. You can't have everybody know what's going on in the business if you have people using Excel and you have people using QuickBooks over here.
Yeah, I have a sales agent out in the field, and they're selling 10 mixers, and somebody's buying 10 mixers online. Do I have 20 mixers in the warehouse, and how do I efficiently check in? Absolutely. Understood.
So our main target market right now is more like mid-sized businesses that are, outgrowing the small business resources. They're not getting away using Excel spreadsheets to keep check of their inventory, because yes, one person is out there selling, they're selling dishwashers, and they're like, I'm going to be here tomorrow morning to install your dishwasher. Yeah, I'll be there. He goes back to the warehouse and there's no dishwasher because somebody already sold them. So now you got to call the client. Hey, by the way, we're not going to get our next shipment until like 3 weeks. So, and now it's like, okay, well, that kind of looks bad. So yes, at some point where you're growing and now you have you have a warehouse inventory, you have salespeople out there doing the same thing that you're doing. You have maybe installers that are you need to book so they can go with you to install whatever you're doing, and you have the accounting department. You want to make sure that the whole company communicates live, at the same time, and everybody can see what's going on. So we install an enterprise resource planning software, which is an ERP system. It actually makes sure that all the different departments communicate, and you can actually know what's going on in your business on real time. So right now, for example, with all the the pandemic going on, everybody's going remote. We actually have one of the best solutions out there to make sure that you can, your whole business can run remotely. You can work from anywhere. These new cloud-based softwares are amazing because you have salespeople out there that can just pull up, on their phone, on their tablet, they can pull up the whole business up there, the whole inventory, the whole calendar, everything. They can push a button and make a quote, send it via email, everything's done. And, now with working remote, which a lot of companies after this pandemic, I've seen a lot of different articles of, big companies that they're now going to be letting their employees work from anywhere. It's not working from home, it's working from anywhere because, you don't have to be home, go to Starbucks. I don't know. But
no, absolutely. And I think the interesting thing, I think the co-working spaces are going to be something that, so many companies move their staff to, whether, if they're not comfortable with home office, it's gonna change because I think so many companies are realizing not only the lack of necessity for a large building plant that they're paying, forget the actual cost of the land and building the building, but just keeping the lights on and energy resources and food and this, that, and the other, that just to keep it all up and running. Whereas, not having 100, 200, 300, 500 people commuting, right? So, here's your employees and you're wearing them out with a commute every day, a half an hour to an hour to more, just to get to the building that you've chosen to do business in. So I think, human efficiency goes back to the convenience of the person, right? I want an excellent, amazing, hardworking genius of a person, and it's just going to be easier for them without having to do this commute. And obviously there's going to be places where people have to commute to because they're building things or they're putting things together. But if you're a salesperson, do you need to report to a building? If you're if you're somebody that is working all day on a computer, do you need to report to a building?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we've been really pushing in these times, because that's where the world is going right now. Like I said, even after the world opens up, I've seen a lot of big corporations that are now saying that they will let their employees work, even not every day, but like maybe 3 days a week or something. They can work from anywhere. And that's where the world is going. Now after we had a little bit of taste of it, we're going remote. Now that we have the technology that we can help businesses, like I said, not only implement an ERP system so they can run their business entirely under one software. Instead, I've seen some businesses that are using like 5 different things to run their business. I'm like, what are you doing right now? Like, no. Let's get it all under one. And that way, every employee, everybody knows what's going on. And then now we have the cloud capacity, which now you don't even have to install the software on your computer. You can actually just log in from anywhere. And of course, the sites are secure and everything for the business. But now any employee can work literally from anywhere and see what you got in inventory. If you're out, doing, cold calls and something, what you got in stock. Who's available. You can make, the calendar appointments, and you can run a quote. You can send it to the financing department, and it's all done. So we are really working to get companies up to speed with technology and be able to have their employees work remote. Where we have we can have the whole business running on one platform.
And I love that. I know on the website. So, are you doing any traveling to Mexico or Canada? I know that you have the company says you guys have offices in the different locations.
Yeah, so we're headquarters here in Allen, Texas. We do have an office in Monterrey, Mexico. Like I said, that's where we're from, and we have most of our team is actually there. But we have a lot of clients here in the DFW area, and one of the conveniences that even if they're in Mexico, it's actually like an hour and a half flight away. So we're very close to our other office in Mexico, and we have another office in Halifax in Canada.
That's awesome.
Where one of our the other senior partner is at, and we do have clients in Mexico, United States, and in Canada as well.
I'm looking forward to getting shown around Monterey one day. I definitely want to go.
Definitely, yeah. Like I said, it's like industry. It's like business city over there. Yeah.
That's awesome. So tell me what the future holds for you. What are some goals? What are some ways folks can get in touch with you? I know on the broadcast on YouTube and Facebook, I posted your LinkedIn address so people can connect with you there. But how would you like people to connect with you? And, what are you looking for? What would be helpful to you?
Well, as far as like what the future holds, we really want to get the opportunity to work. We've been in the more of the manufacturing, like industrial area, most of the years that we've been in business. But we really want to also help other, smaller businesses, like mid-sized businesses that are looking to grow. I mean, that's really what we want to try to do right now. We actually have, this community support program that we just partner with the chamber also here locally in Allen to help businesses get technology savvy and implement their online store. We're actually doing for them. We're doing, since they're here, at our chamber, we're doing like a 6 months free. But that's what we really want to do. We really want to get our name out there and make sure that people know that we can help. Even if it's just this consultation of what should I be doing right now, what kind of difference there. There's so many resources out there, and we can help. Walk you through the different options and just try to see how we can help businesses right now that are growing, that are struggling because of the COVID-19 situation going on. I think the future we want to get a lot more into the mid-market area and see how we can help them, because I know, like I said, we actually didn't get into that into all of the custom solutions like the mobile apps and the web applications until like I said, we work with a lot of manufacturing companies, and eventually they started asking us for other solutions. Hey, by the way, can you do like a mobile app? By the way, we have a website, but we wanted to do all these other stuff. Can you do a web application and stuff like that? So we're like, yes, we actually can. And we realize that a lot of smaller businesses can also benefit from these solutions, because unfortunately there's a lot of companies out there that might not have all the expertise, might not have all the experience. And like we've dealt already with two that I can, think at the top of my head, companies that wanted a mobile app and went with another company and ended up losing a lot of money and no mobile app at the end of the day. So we kind of want to share our expertise.
Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely for folks that don't have an understanding. There's a lot of folks out there. I mean, I think I get a weird email a day about lead generation. There's somebody that wants to do mobile apps. I'm getting it from different companies and everything. There's so many people that are very willing to take your money and maybe not so willing to give you a product or a service that actually is going to work for you. So you're helping people embrace the technology, and I think that's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and the thing is that we're independent. We're a small independent firm, so we're not captive to like using one software or another. We're not trying to stick you with one thing or another. We are actually there to see what works, and if we don't know it, we'll go and do some research and see what's the best solution for you. And then if not, we can customize. We can develop a customized software for you too if nothing else works, because we do that too. We can build custom software development from scratch. If you want your own, you have an idea.
All right. And what are ways that clients should get a hold of you?
So they can definitely email me. Of course, I think that's pretty simple. My email is and my last name, which is right there, Huerta at MayanTex.com. If not, they can definitely reach me on my cell phone, which is a California number, 661-309-5897. And if not, my LinkedIn that you said you put it on the.
I did, and I'll throw it into the chat right now as well, just to have it.
I've definitely been taken. I mean, LinkedIn has become my lifeline between me and networking and customers and everything. It's been. I mean, one of the things that the pandemic pushed me to do is do virtual networking.
Yeah, we met through Master Networks, I believe, right?
Yeah, when they started doing those, I don't know what they call them.
Zoom calls.
It was like, it was not like happy hour. It was just like all chapters.
Yes. No, I think I've been getting great value out of it, and I'm trying to take more advantage of the fact that we are, as an organization, meeting naturally. So you're getting to meet with people that you wouldn't normally meet to. So there's things going on right now that wouldn't normally exist, and I think that's always the challenge in business, is taking advantage of the moment. And while there's not obviously there's some very negative news out there, there's some positive news in the sense that you can make connections that you wouldn't normally be able to meet, because people are online and able to do these meetings across the nation. So whether you're, with Master Networks or another kind of association, take advantage of that. That's a great business development tool, and it's something that really gets to expand your reach. Thank you so much for doing this with me, Brenda. I'm really looking forward to working with you in the future. I know we definitely got a Monterey trip in the works at some point. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm hoping people reach out to you, and there's a lot of success. I'll let you have the last word. Go ahead and say goodbye, and then I'll throw the BizDev theme song on here.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Cameron, for having me on your podcast, webcast, and it was really fun, and I was really glad I got to meet you through networking, and just joining networking, and I've been able to take advantage of it. I got out of my comfort zone to even do this, but I got out of my comfort zone to virtually network, and it's been amazing. I mean, we do business with people all over the United States, and now I've been able to network with people all over the United States. So that's been amazing. Embrace technology, embrace the new times. I would say, what happens to you is 10% what happens and 90% how you react to it. So in these hard times, we gotta stay positive and get the most out of it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brenda.
Thank you.
Hold on for a second for me. I'll be right back with you. Gotta push my buttons here. Here we go.
BizDev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. BizDev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. BizD with C, brought to you by Cameron T. BizD with C, brought to you by Cameron T. This is business development, not even selling it. This is intelligent. If you watch it, I promise you benefit. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. BizDev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. BizDev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. BizD with C, brought to you by Cameron T. BizD with C, brought to you by Cameron T.